I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All Complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CTA's Daily Review. Today's Monday, September 25th, 2023. Hope you had a good weekend. So we had this indecisive day. So we had sells and buys in the day. And the price opened up, retraced back into this higher candle here. That was in Asia, and then London pushing it up, and then the rest of the day coming down to hit our target that we were mentioning. Watch Friday's video so this makes sense. We were coming down here and into this weekly imbalance right there. And we got to about 50% of it. Yep. And then bought up all the way back to wipe out sellers and get into that up candle right there that you can see on the 4-hour right there. But we'll go into a smaller time frame real quick. So let's see here. So we opened up here and then we retraced back up into this imbalance here. This is an inversion imbalance as well. So nice spot right there. This happens at 3:30 in the morning, London. And then shoots all the way down. So we got, if I'm going to scrunch out a little bit, if you watched Friday or you remember Friday, we were obviously holding this resistance for lower pricing, and we've got structure of obviously bearish, lower low, lower high. So this is that lower low. We came up and made a lower high here, and then retrace. If you put a fib from there to there, I'm not trading at this time, so it doesn't matter to me, but what I will say is you can see that we come here to that 70. Nice, damn to the point. All right, so if you had that understanding, then you'd be looking for a new lower low here or a big leg lower low. Didn't have to stop right there. So in that sense, price retraced back up to a resistance area as well from previous price of the previous day's low, which would be Friday. We ran through it. We retraced back up here. They engineered this as liquidity. But in this leg here, I identified this leg as lower high to lower low. This whole stretch down, right? So that being that in the case, we have technically only two retracements in this leg. So from lower high to lower low, we got a retrace there. That's one. We come down at 9:10. Almost 9:30, we then wipe out that liquidity and then touch that imbalance, and then we get a new retracement back up. Basically takes out those guys and comes into this up candle right here, and then this is the second retracement for the final stretch down. You get in this leg down, you've got two retracements, so one, and then come down, and then two, and then final piece of the leg here. And then in this entire leg, you're going to be expecting probably buys to retrace up to do what? To generally take out that liquidity, come into this imbalance of price here, and coming to the open, because this is the open of the week. And then where do we go from here, obviously, which we'll get into in a second. So with that mindset here, let me go into a 1 minute. Can't really show this on a 5 minute. I can, but I mean, not really. So not as far as even entries goes, but let's take a look here. So with this understanding here, we rush down and we take this out, right? See that? So once we take that out and we tap here, for me, and now it's 9, 10, 11. For me, this is going to be a buy only because, and it doesn't need to be long term. You call it a scalp, whatever you want, but this is like move one to me. So move one, meaning that we've had this down move and a retracement. I'm looking for this down move, which we had. We had this nice push down and then a retracement, right? So in the sense of I'm taking this buy because not only do I have it in my area, but this is, if you're on a 1 minute and you only have a 1 minute, you would generally, well, confidence would make you take this as well, but because you have your levels and you know what you're looking for. But you'd either take it right when it closes, or watch this next bullish candle. You can either watch it retrace back into that bottom wick, So right there, you would have took an entry. Or if you waited for it to close, popped up and closed, it just dips down. See how it gaps down a little bit, and then it gets into this. You're at 50% of this main 1 minute candle. So that would be the only way for me to tell you, how this is how I would get into it without going to a sub-minute time frame. Anyway, point is, take this buy. Where am I taking it? Well, there's two places. Well, it's either I'm going to take it here to this nice big eyesore of gaps and price just obviously imbalanced, or above it, right? So here's what I do. Price goes above, comes to right here. For me, this is going to be, I'm going to take the buy. I'm going to take the profit out, and then I'm going to see it if it's going to sell from here or come up from here. Now, the thing is with this movement and this range, I know it is very small. So one thing you'll learn as you go is that you'll expect the ranges to kind of get bigger as the next kind of trade goes or happens, right? Because you understand the volatility of New York and what they're trying to accomplish. So from here, I don't take the trade here. I decide, or I take the trade to buy here, because I said I'm only going to wait for it to break this high or break this low, because this is where we're stuck inside the range. I'll still take this profit here, though. I could have took this sell and took the profit here too, but for me, I'm taking it easy, and it is Monday, so I'm going to know what I'm going to do next after it takes out this liquidity or this liquidity. That's how I played it. And it was smart because it came down fine, could have took that, came back up, could have took that. Okay, this comes and takes out this liquidity here. So once we take out this liquidity here, obviously plus that, now I'm looking for a different direction. So it's kind of like, you can look at it as many ways as you want, but in general, I'm looking to come down here to get into here. So buy, sell, buy. And that's all I'm interested in. I don't give a fuck if this thing goes all the way up or down or whatever structure it tries to play with in the later of the day. This is what I want, the 3 moves. This is the way I do things. But in general, this was a retracement, knowing that that's a retracement, and you have a possible leg here to get to an actual target, which would be the 50% of this weekly imbalance right here, right? So you got the here showing you here, gotta delete it. I got it here separated by the 50, comes right to it. So when I'm up here, all right, took out that liquidity, I'm looking for a sell, because number 1, we're bearish. Number 2, we take liquidity out. So in number 3, we're generally going to wipe out liquidity. This is the 3rd day in a row. If you take a look on the hour, so this was Thursday, Friday, and then now today's Monday. We've done that for the last 2 days, actually 3, but I'll just leave it at that. So you're expecting lower prices in general and to accomplish what they're doing, and they want to wipe people out before they come up, give you some type of 3 drives pattern as well. So coming down 1, 2, 3. So when this sell happens, I have 2 options. I can take it to here. I can take it to the liquidity, or I can take it below for 3 drives down and then come back up. For me, I'm going to play it safe. I know we're coming to the liquidity, and I want a general area of either coming to the 50 or even down here to completely wipe it out, right? And if you look at the oversold area on the 4 hour, again, I'm not saying I rely on this. This is just using it as confluence. We're now hitting the floor here, right? And we're going to probably manipulate going up as well, right? So with that, coming into here, you'll see, take the trade out, take a loss here, trying to buy this back up. This is going to happen if I take the profit, and then comes down again, and I take this trade, all right? Because at this point, I'm a little bit, I wouldn't say antsy, but I'm just trying to get involved, right? But should have just waited for the 3 drives, 1, 2, and then it coming down here right to the 50, which is no problem. I want to take these trades just in case it just shoots on me. But then sure enough, you wait, you don't do anything. You do see that this high right here, see how it comes and smacks that low that we just took out. So that's also a form of saying, hey, wait, because this thing's probably going to come back down, comes to the center of it. Once it comes into here, you can see you have a couple options without going a sub-minute. If you're on the minute, you have this down candle in itself. You got 3 candles there, 1, 2, 3, 3 lows right there. We're at the 50. We pop above it, and then we come back in it. Okay, so once that candle is pretty much at 50% or not too below, but at 50%, I want to push the button and put the stop loss there. If you don't catch that, you do get a down candle printed with a bullish candle printed and a retrace right back into that 1 minute candle. See that? Perfect level. That's another push for you to do it as well. And I would put the stop loss here for this entry because if it's going lower, I don't want to be probably involved. So anyways, where are you taking this trade to? I have multiple options. I have obviously here is my main one. Right here, taking out these highs is one. And then obviously above it for maybe a displacement leg. So that being said, if that's the case, and again, we do want to retrace back up here, right? Like, but I know we want to take out this liquidity, which they did, and they did that. Do we come lower? I don't know, right? But I do know that in today's price action, we can still get a movement up. We can get a retracement up. I don't know how far or whatever, or what's really going to happen. But I do know that if you look at pre-New York's highs here and possibly here, right? So this where the price can come down and then we can get a shift of structure, which we sort of did, but we don't know if it's true or not. I have to squinch it out. I don't know how else I could do this, but once we're coming above this high here, that could be a possible shift, and then us, or even right here, this could be a shift here too as well. It all depends how you look at it. And then price, when we're buying this, okay, taking it up to here. If it sells from here, then obviously still bearish. But if it's coming up and then now it does 3 drives here. See this? 1, 2, 3. I could have waited for it to be 3 drives, but I don't know if it's bullish. I don't know if it's going to keep going because I do know at the end of the day, they could still come back down for another lower low, right? So if that's the case, I'm going to take this to here and then see what happens. I'm not going to do shit, right? So 1, 2, 3 drives up, comes up here, comes right to the open, takes that high out, and comes into this imbalance. Let me just put it on a different, maybe just go to a 5 minute. That's fine. But, oh, and I wanted to mention that while this is all going on, I remember this gap right here that I analyzed early in the day. Look on the 15 minute. Can't you see it? You see this gap right here? You see that? And I was like, well, first of all, you got this big ass, straight bearish fucking candles, right? So you can't miss that, right? Kind of like how you couldn't miss this when this came up. But from here, it could have sold from here, or it could have came up here, got into that gap, which it did. When it hit this gap, I said I was taking a sell. Why was I going to take this sell? Well, because I figured that this was going to be like one leg right here. So we got this leg down, finale. Leg up, finale. Now I got a fib here, right? And you got all this, look at all this price imbalance as well, right? And then I put a fib here, right? So I take this sell right when it gets up here because it's literally sitting right at the gap, all right? So with the open of the week gap. Okay, so then price, if you were to look at this on a 1 minute, I got to go to 1 minute for you guys. You'll see very, very subtle. You'll get these 3 drives here, right? You get a 4th one here. So take a loss here, no problem. Price comes up right here with this candle. Then you get a bearish. Then it pops right into the wick. That's where I would normally take this entry. Okay, if you don't take it, you wait for a second confirmation. For me, it would be generally a bearish candle right there. Bullish candle comes right back into that block right there to the point. All right, now here's what happened. When I take this trade, I got to put this stop loss above this biggest block, right? You could put it here, but you would have get stopped out. So here is generally where you want to put it. If it's going to pan out, look what this motherfucker did. So this thing came up 1, 2, 3 times, and then came to the target. So in this, I knew they were going to play it like this. This is just experience. So I'm looking at this as a leg up. You see that, right? And then from this range to this range, if I've identified that range. Now, I have 2 reasons to identify it this way, and I have 2 reasons why I should take this sell to in here. Because number 1, If it's still bearish, it'll run right through this, all right? Or it'll come low, right? And then maybe happen tomorrow, but it'll come break this low. Number one reason to sell, because you're bearish. Number two, if this is a leg and a shift of structure here, and it's coming up, then I'm going to still want it to retrace back into a healthy place. Where if you look at this from this is 1 minute, right? Yeah, if you look at this on a 1 minute, you could see here, okay, where's the 50? Sitting right there. What else do we have? Well, I have a 61. I have all this, but this is kind of low if it's going to go up. Where do I want to take this to a minimum? I got this down candle right there. See that? So it comes right to it and then buys up from in the middle of that wick. But coming to this level here to seal that price. See, there's an imbalance right there on this 1 minute plus that down candle. Call this a demand area. You call it whatever you want. But the point is when I'm taking this trade, and listen, when the price comes down, I let this bitch come all the way back. I don't know why I was so confident, but I was, and I knew that they would come down. So come down meaning in 3 drives down. Look at this. 1, 2, 3. See how they manipulated down, then still came up? Well, this is 1 leg up, 1 leg down. This leg down, it's a lower, low, lower, high leg. How's that look like? Very manipulative. Look how high I didn't get stopped out. I swear on my mother's grave. Didn't get stopped out. Held it. Came right back to it. Held it. Came right back and still sold all the way down. Now we get underneath the 50. Now, because if it had came to the 50, I would have been out. But because it didn't come to the 50, I said, no, I know what you guys are doing. You're sitting here trying to dangle it at a 38, which I could have left it alone at a 38, which is, to be honest with you, what I should have done. Because I had the opportunity when it came here. But I was like, no, I know what you fucking guys are doing. So you guys are going to retrace it, and then people are going to get tired of trying to buy it, and then you'll buy it. So anyways, but I know this sell's happening where? So forget the fib itself. Yes, 50 is important, but what else do I have here? If I took the fib away, I mean, where would you want this thing to retrace to? I like that down candle. All I need to do is tap that bitch, period. And sure enough, beautiful. Could it have came lower? Sure. Could it have not came lower? Sure. Right? So I'm done. I'm not messing with these people. It's the power hour. We're in the power hour. I was hoping for it to keep going, but I was like, nah, I'm good. And then you get this little shift of candles switching, and then boom, big price action. I saw this as a buy, man, and I didn't take it. Only because of the dangling carrot, knowing that we are bearish too. So I'm just explaining this sell. After that, dude, you're on your own. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't want to be involved. But technically, what did they do? They came up with 1 more leg up. So if I was to, oh shit. I'll leave that there, and then I'll put this. This is a leg that broke out, and now we're here. Now I'm just giving you the idea. Is this range done? Now, what are we going to do? Are we going to, well, actually, before I even get into that, you can see here that we also had confluence with a crack here, with us being a lower high, and look what Nas and S&P did, which to be honest, I just love the way Nas is flowing. Because we're always in a manipulative state, which I'm kind of over it. But at the same time, I know what they're doing, so it's comfortable for me. But understanding that we get the lower high here, they get higher highs right here, right? So this was to tell me that we're still coming down, and they can still be coming up. But this was the idea for me to keep coming down as far as Dow goes. Then when we get this right here, another crack here, divergence here of a lower low for Dow. And then we get these nice higher highs here. This is letting me know that we're going up. So hope this helps. And again, I don't know if this is going to be going that direction completely, but we do have a lot of liquidity being built, a lot of lower highs there. Now they're going to start attacking those lower highs, right? Because they've accomplished the lower side, right? So we'll see. I'm not saying long term either, but then you got dollar here, fucking still going up. And take a look at dollar here. Very nice. We get into that. I've had this level marked forever, since beginning of the year, which is you got this imbalance here, right there. Do you see that? It's kind of hard to see it, maybe. Whoops. We took care of that gap. We took out that high, and then we're sitting in this daily imbalance right there. See that in between that? And we came right to it. See how we're sitting inside it? We went above it which is fine, but now we're sitting there. So what does dollar do? I don't, that's the whole question. I know we're in an inflationary period. They're still showing that we're going up. So, if we're going to keep looking for prices to go up, then we'll try to come up and we'll come down. Let me come back to this. So where we're here now, I mean, are we going to be popping up higher high, higher low structure to get into here? We got news this week. We got consumer sentiment. We got a couple things this week. We got also Powell speaking. So, it would make sense for me for them to kind of slowly come up now for this week. If you look at this week, this is an indecisive week so far. Not really relying on that, but on the daily, you can see, if you see on the daily here, I'm going to highlight this. This is possible that this is a nice imbalance, and we might run up in there. So in this area here, today's Monday, so Tuesday, that could have been the low of the week, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we kind of get a bullish week where it just kind of comes right in. If it doesn't do that, then obviously we might be looking for lower prices before it gets into here. So because it has all right to drop from here. See, if you take a look at these look at the 4 hour up, the blue up candles that I have. See how they're pushing price down. See these two right here. Okay, yeah, that went up, but then we came back up into it, and then it's been keeping price down. Now we're sitting here. So what do we got? We got liquidity here, these two lower highs right here. That looks juicy with this imbalance of price right here. Let me delete this. I'm going to delete this and, well, I'm not going to draw nothing, but in this little pocket here of price, does price go up in there? So are we going to come down one more time? I don't know. If it does go down one more time, then it's going to be selling from somewhere in this area. You could market opens up, pop up a little bit higher. I don't know about taking that high, but it's possible. But you're in this range here from lower high to lower low. You retrace back up. This is where we are. So from this leg from here to here, it can have two retracements. We can have one. That's why I sold it to here. One. Now we got another price leg up. All right. And this could be a finale where we don't get a second retracement. This is the final area of us making a lower high for us to then, do this shit. Come down slowly, and then we end up being a seller tomorrow at that time. Because if you take a look here, what time is it? We closed up here. So we'll see what happens. But if it decides to break and then kind of really retrace back up, then I'm just going to expect to see this type of flow, right? So I'm expecting to see it, pop up, retrace, and then buy again to then wipe that out and then actually break real structure right here. That would be the real break to me of going up and then retracing back up into a deeper retracement. I don't know how deep. It might not go that deep. I don't know. But, somewhere in this vicinity here looks good to me. If they're going to continue down. So, hope this helps. You guys take care and God bless.